The first thing the man did after his rebirth was to repay the 2 sons of the scheming woman. In his previous life, when he was seriously injured and needed surgery, the scheming woman's family had no hesitation in abandoning him because they couldn't afford the 5,000 yuan for the surgery. They even had their own daughter sign a letter to sever ties with him. Hearing his daughter's tearful accusations, the man realized how wrong he had been. Watching his daughter leave, his heart ached. He prayed to the heavens for a chance to make things right, perhaps out of pity for his daughter's plight. When he woke up again, he found himself in a familiar environment. The calendar on the wall made him realize that he had actually been reborn. At that moment, his daughter's crying voice was heard. She was worried she would be punished for waking him up, but this time, he gently picked her up, knowing she was hungry, and immediately went to the market to buy a big fat chicken, planning to cook her favorite roast chicken. However, the scene was seen by the neighbors, who thought he was trying to please the scheming woman's family again. After the man cooked the meal, he realized that today was his daughter's birthday, so he decided to buy her a cake. But when he went out, the scheming woman's mother-in-law barged into his house with her 2 grandsons to steal the roast chicken. The girl desperately protected the chicken, saying it was made for her by her dad, but the mother-in-law sneered, saying that in the man's eyes, the girl was no better than a dog, and that the chicken was clearly made for her grandsons. With that, she shoved the girl to the ground. The girl cried out in pain. Her cries drew a crowd of neighbors, who began to scold the mother-in-law for bullying the girl. The 2 boys shamelessly said the chicken was made for them by the man. Furious, the girl pushed the boys down, snatched the chicken wings from one of them. Seeing this, the mother-in-law tried to strike the girl, but just then, the man suddenly returned home. He angrily scolded the mother-in-law for daring to bully his daughter. The neighbors, shocked by his change in attitude, watched in amazement. The mother-in-law, unwilling to back down, threatened the man, saying she would go tell the scheming woman and make sure he would never have a chance to marry her. The man sneered, saying he had long since given up on pursuing the scheming woman. Then, he stood up, ready to fight for his daughter's justice. He pinned one of the boys to the table, making him feel what it was like to be beaten. The mother-in-law had no choice but to take her grandsons away in disgrace. Back home, the mother-in-law immediately went to complain to the scheming woman, swearing to make the man pay. The scheming woman remained calm, saying she had plenty of ways to win the man back. The next day, the scheming woman arrived early at the factory and took the man's wages, using it to pay for her son's tuition. While the girl faced the possibility of dropping out of school, she helplessly asked the teacher for help. Seeing this, the scheming woman was ready to beat the girl, but just then, the man rushed in, angrily accusing the scheming woman of stealing his wages. The scheming woman started to throw a tantrum, refusing to return the wages to the man. The man, helpless, decided to call the police to have the scheming woman arrested.